I made a whole video about hand sharpening drill bits. Nobody watched it, but I kind of expected that. You don't see a lot of drill sharpening tutorials on the trending page. What I didn't expect were the comments, the positive comments about the drill doctor. I've worked in hundreds of machine shops all over the world. Shops that make everything from casters to craters. And they all had one thing in common.
It's impossible.
No drill doctor. But it turns out the drill doctor has a cult-like following. Look at these reviews. People really seem to love it. How can that be? Are all the machinists I've worked with stubborn elitists? Is Big Drill Bit conspiring to keep the drill doctor down?
That's gotta be it.
Is the internet right? Is my worldview wrong? Is the drill doctor actually good?
No. No, it's not.
All right, let's see if we can plow through this. This gizmo is a drill bit sharpener. In case you haven't figured that out, it's a Drill Doctor DD500X. Cost me about 120 bucks at my local purveyor of fine goods. This can sharpen 118 and 135 degree drill bits, and it can also do the split point. Goes from 3/32 up to ½ inch. That's like 2.5 millimeters up to around 13 millimeters. There's also a 750X, which goes up to 3/4, up to about 19 millimeter. All right, let's start with the good. It looks like a cheap plastic toy for kids to wipe their boogers on, but it's not quite as creaky as I expected. Some of the parts are actually made from metal, and it's also somehow assembled in the USA. None of the parts are made here, but at least they're trying. It does a pretty good job with 118 degree drills that have a thin web. We talked about that in the last video. The thicker the web, the tougher the drill, but also the tougher it is to sharpen. These are the only 118 degree drills I had that would actually fit in the drill doctor. I don't know how these were sharpened at the factory, or if there even is a factory. It might be more of a cave or tree stump. The quality and consistency is just laughably bad. I suspect they might have been sharpened by hand, which is incredible when you think that this whole set of drills cost like $16. Anyway, the drill doctor can absolutely sharpen these bits better than they left the factory. I've had pretty good results even with the little point splitting attachment. It does pretty good on these sort of cheapo 118 degree drills. That's pretty much the end of the good. It really struggles with 135 degree drills, especially if they have a thick web. Let me show you. This is a 135 degree split point cobalt drill. It's an F size, 257 thousandths. It's like 6.4 millimeters. I'm going to sharpen it in the usual way. That is not a good split point. You want all the edges to come together right at the center. So this edge should be right in line with this edge, and this edge right here should be in line with this little edge over here. So it's simultaneously over grinding on this face and under grinding on this face. Now we can do something about the over grind, but we cannot do anything about the under grind. So what's happening is the center of the drill is not lined up with the edge of the grinding wheel. That's a manufacturing defect in the machine. And it's off by quite a bit. It's like about 1/2 millimeter. So you end up with almost a full millimeter of kind of a gap here in the split point that should not be there. And it's not really a huge deal on this size drill, but it gets progressively worse as the drill size gets bigger. This is a 31/64 drill. It's like a 12.4 millimeter, something like that. Pretty much everything about this is wrong. We still have the same undergrind on the split point, but the bigger problem is the relief angle, or the complete lack of a relief angle. We have a little bit, so you can see up to about here it does have some relief, but then it starts to reverse, and the cutting edge is actually negatively ground. This bit absolutely will not cut anything. That's pretty awful. So the problem is the web thickness. See how much distance there is between this cutting edge and this cutting edge? Can you see the difference? This drill is actually a little bit larger in diameter, but the web is so much thinner. This thick web drill has all this extra material out here at the cutting edge, and the drill doctor just cannot cope with that. It's a fundamental flaw in whatever geometry they used when they designed those cams. I've tried all the different adjustments from extreme positive to extreme negative rake. You could make it a little bit better, but you cannot eliminate this negative grind when you have a drill bit with this thick of a web. It's just a fundamental flaw built into the drill doctor. And it's way off. The edge of the wheel should touch the tip of the pointer. It's not even close. Either something's made wrong or they didn't align it correctly when they put it together. I wonder if we can fix that. Let's go ahead and void the warranty. There ain't much to it. Not much at all. Well, I don't know. I mean, the motor is screwed right to this plate, and the split point bore is made right into that plate. I wonder, I bet you that hub that holds the wheel is just pressed on to the motor shaft, and it goes all the way through. I wonder if we could just, hang on a minute. Well, I've got this precision hub aligner. I wonder if we can just kind of gently press it on a little further. Oh, something popped. Oh, that might be it. Look at that. Crazy like a fox. Send me an email, Drill Doctor. I'd be happy to license my quality control fixture. I'll even package it with the precision adjuster. I reground the split point. It's not perfect, but it's a whole lot better than it was before. And that's almost acceptable. That's the same 31/64 drill post adjustment. I mean, visually it looks better, but this is still not right. There's still a negative angle on the lip. That drill still will not cut. And the drill doctor just can't sharpen these kind of drills. No way, no how. The drill doctor is not good. But for a lot of people, it's probably good enough. Especially if you're only using cheapo hardware store 118 degree drills that have the real thin webs. It'll sharpen those just fine. My use case is the worst case scenario, which is true for a lot of things. It doesn't represent most people's experience. My big problem with the drill doctor is, this is an expensive specialty tool. It only does one thing, sharpen drill bits, and it doesn't do that very well, in my opinion. For the same amount of money, you could buy a bench grinder, a pretty good one, and then you have a tool that can sharpen any drill bit, and it can do all kinds of other things. If you're going to spend the money to buy a dedicated drill bit sharpening machine, you would be way better off to spend about twice as much and buy one of these vevor drill grinders. This thing is absolutely fantastic. I haven't found a drill bit that it can't sharpen, and it can absolutely sharpen any drill bit better than I can by hand. In fact, I'll set it up and I'll show you. We're going to fix this crappy drill bit that the drill doctor can't sharpen. This thing is an incredible value for the money, as far as I'm concerned. This thing is pretty slick. So you got all these collets. Got to find the one that fits your drill bit. That'll work. And we take apart this little chuck. Stick our collet in there like so. So just snug it up. You want to still be able to rotate the drill. And then what I do is just visually line up the cutting edge with this edge of the chuck. Kind of like that. And then this is the setting fixture. It has this little block that's supposed to set the rotation. I find that doesn't work very well, especially for these thick web drills. So I set the alignment visually, and then I just use this to set the depth. So I'm just going to push that in, and then push the drill bit in until it bottoms out. And it should still be lined up. It is. And we'll go ahead and tighten it up. Now we've got this adjusted for a 135 degree angle. Turn it 180 degrees. Okay, that looks good. And then this up here is your split point. Line up the flat with the roll pins. And then straight down. Flip it 180 degrees. That's it. I don't know what happened to this drill bit, but it's pretty well hashed. It's all chewed up there. And there's still a little chip here. I didn't go far enough. But that is a beautiful grind. I mean, just fantastic. These are identical drill bits. That one's from the drill doctor. This one I sharpened by hand. And that one is from the vevor. And I would rank them in that order. Crazy. Somehow it is 12:58 a.m. Guess we better wrap this up. The vevor grinder I'm using is the MR13A. There's also an MR13B. The only difference is how it splits the point. The A does a real split point, and the B does more of a web thinning. So if you use 135 degree drills, you probably want the A. If you use 118 degree drills, you might want the B. There's not a huge difference between the two. I did buy both the Drill Doctor and the vevor grinder with my own money, but my opinion is 100% biased. So engage your own brain, make your own decision. If you want to buy either one, I will put links to where you can buy them off of Amazon. Those are affiliate links. If you follow them and you make a purchase and several dozen other stars perfectly align, Papa Bezos kicks me back a few nickels. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Thanks for watching. This will be the last drill bit sharpening video, I promise. We will resume our regular content next week. Hopefully.
Sparrows are going nuts.
Those are barn swallows. Yeah, barn swallows and dragonflies working together. It's hard to see them. Got American-made quality with a capital K. Almost had it.